Hello and welcome to another Tune4Media session. I am so proud and excited because I get to show you a new Tune4Media instrument, and it's the RETROSIX, a virtual analog synthesizer inspired by and modeled after some truly amazing and iconic synthesizers from the early 80s. And it was made with the help of some truly great minds in the realm of Max and MSP to really give you a great sounding synthesizer with a relatively low CPU usage. And the reason you see my numbers in my CPU a little bit high is actually because I'm recording the video and the audio for this video. Okay, so what do we have here? So as you can see, it's a pretty straightforward synthesizer. In fact, the entire philosophy behind it is that simple is beautiful. It's not one of those highly sophisticated synthesizers, but quite the opposite. It has one LFO to control any of the LFO actions. It has one filter, and it has kind of a dual envelope. I'll explain later why. So we have this global section, and as you can see, you have the gain, and then you have glide or portmanteau. You have the pitch bend range, and you probably noticed that this is the only knob that has numbers on it. The reason you don't see numbers because we wanted you to experience this synth in a more analog style. Of course, you can see the numbers in the automations, but I encourage you to map some of these knobs to your MIDI controller just to have a little more fun. So let's open up a new one from scratch. So I already have this one. Okay, so this is what you get when you first open this synth. Cool. So in the oscillators section, you have saw and square. And you have sub, which is also a square, but it is pitched down an octave. And then you have pulse width modulation, and it controls both the sub and this square, but it's kind of opposite. So this is the pulse width modulation for this oscillator. And for the sub, it's kind of the opposite. And the last oscillator is just a noise generator, so you can generate some noises. And you can control the pulse width modulation with the LFO, so you can do something like that. The LFO section is pretty easy, so if the LFO for the pulse width modulation is not pressed, it just acts as a regular LFO. You can also add delay time, so it will take time for the LFO to kick in. Let's go back to the global section and just see what we have here. So like I said, we have the gain, glide, pitch bend, range. We also have this cool chorus. So this is my sound without the chorus. Let's add the chorus. Kind of add this wider sounding synth. And you also have this mod wheel control, so you can actually control the filter and the LFO, or one of them, with your mod wheel. So for example, let's control the filter. Okay, in the filter section, you have your regular cutoff frequency. So it's a low-pass filter with a cutoff frequency and resonance. And then you can choose to send this filter through the envelope with this amount. So let's do this. You can get pretty funky, or you can press here and instead of envelope, send it through your LFO. Lastly, you have the envelope section. And the reason I said earlier that it's kind of a dual envelope or two envelopes is because this envelope is shared with both the filter and the oscillators. Again, this is a pretty straightforward and simple synth. We don't have this extra envelope for the filter. We actually sharing the same envelope. But we have this button to actually set what kind of envelope we want to send the oscillators to. So the gate is actually a separate fixed envelope with a fast attack, an endless sustain, and a fast release. And if it's pressed on gate, we actually setting the oscillators free from the filter envelope. So we can create a filter envelope and send the oscillator through this gate envelope. But if I want to actually sync the envelope for both the filter and the oscillators, I can choose envelope like that. And this is great if I want to create like a cool kind of a string pad. Let's try to make two sounds. First one, I would like to make some kind of a brass. Cool. Let's try to make more of a clavinet. Like a funky clave. And let's control the filter with the mod wheel. Let's get rid of this chorus. Cool. And lastly, let's have some fun playing with my chords automator as well. And with long glide. Okay, I hope you like this instrument, and if you like it, please click the link below to get this synthesizer. And if you like my videos, please subscribe for more, and see you next time. Stay tuned.